next question. What do I think of my book covers? I adore them, they match, they're sparkly, they sum up your books perfectly. Are they everything you want and more for your books? Absolutely. I can't argue with it. I love, you know, my books. I just think they look amazing. I mean, I just find it here. Look, what's not to love about that? And you notice that I've coordinated my outfit to go with it. I love my covers. I think that they're just amazing. They amaze me every time I see them. I think Nikki from Design Partnership, Nick and Lou, who designs all of these, just does a phenomenal job. And the way that, you know, it's kind of set a bit of an industry standard is great as well. So yes, I think they perfectly sum up my books. And because I write books that I'd like to read, this is, you know, was where I always start from with my novels. And I would pick that up off the shelf. I mean, who wouldn't? Even if you don't read it, just stick it on your shelf. It looks lovely and it's all sparkly. So yes, I love my covers. Okay, next question as well. You're also a singer as well as a writer. Can you draw too? Can you tell us a bit about your latest album and what kind of music it is you sing? I can draw as well, sorry Leah. I do cartoons, and at some point I'd like to do something with that. I'm looking at doing a children's story. I'm going to start writing one, and I have some ideas, and I do have some characters already drawn out, so yeah, watch this space on that one. My latest album, it's actually my first solo album. It's called About Time. I actually recorded it all last year. It's in the process of being put on iTunes at the moment, but if anyone would like to buy an album, just send me an email to mirandawordy@gmail.com and I'll send you an order form, because I have 1,000 of them at the moment sat in my living room, so not a lot of space for anything. Kind of stuff that I do, I've been compared to people like Sarah McLachlan and Judy Zook and Suzanne Vega and people like that. It's kind of singer-songwriter stuff. I like to feel that it's sing-along. I think, you know, I think it's sort of tunes that will stick in your head. It's had a really good reception so far, so we'll just wait and see what happens. But yeah, so there we go. My album's called About Time. It'll be available on iTunes soon. Okay, next question. During each of your vlogs this year, you've worn a special hat. I just have one more for you. Which hat is your favourite, and could you show it to us, please? Well, here it is. This is my favourite hat. This is a fat face hat, and I just love it because it's stripy. I mean, it's, you know, it's just everything, and I like the fact that it sits in the back of my head. Yes, I have gone through quite a lot of hats on the vlog. I didn't manage to make it to 52 hats, but thankfully I didn't do 52 vlogs this year, so we'll see. We're hoping to get some new hats, maybe get some new hats for Christmas, I don't know. But yeah, that one's my favourite. Okay, next question. This is Leah's question. There aren't many authors who are honest about what it takes to write a book. Sure, they say it's hard, but they rarely delve into the messy bits, into the details, but you're refreshingly honest. Thank you very much. Why are you so honest? Is it good to be able to tell us just how difficult but rewarding it could be? It's a very good question. I can't be anything but honest about it, and especially considering how it happened for me, you know, that I never kind of, there was no premeditation to try and become a writer. It was always something that I wanted to do, but I never thought it would happen. So I have to be honest about it, because there's lots of things about the writing journey I wish that I'd known before I started writing. Not that it would have ever put me off, but just so that I could be prepared. And my first year was just like a baptism of fire. To go from, you know, writing for fun when you felt like it, to suddenly having deadlines and edits and people questioning what you'd written, and suddenly having to sort of stand up for your story, all of which is great stuff for a writer to have to do, because it means that what makes it to the finished novel is actually stuff that you really, really care about, because that's the stuff that you fought for. I think it would be completely wrong of me to say everything's wonderful, everything's great, it's all wonderful, I live this fantastic life. It's really hard work. It's worthwhile hard work, but it's, you know, the amount of time that it takes out of your life, the commitment that it is to actually write a book a year is phenomenal. And I would never have known this beforehand. Like I wouldn't have known that, you know, that publishers change your book title. So the first title of my first novel was Coffee at Kowalski's, and it got changed to Fairytale of New York. And for most of the year leading up to publication of that novel, I hated that. I absolutely hated that, because it wasn't what I'd called it for 7 years. But then I've since found out, you know, that happens a lot. It's because it's all to do with how books are marketed and that kind of thing. And to be honest, now it's kind of where I just go, okay, no, that's fine. I mean, I named Welcome to My World and It Started With a Kiss are both my titles. When I Fall in Love was kind of like a group effort. I came up with a load of titles, and Avon came up with a load of titles, and then we settled on When I Fall in Love, which I think is lovely and I'm actually really chuffed with, but it was slightly different this time. So I think, you know, I've got to be honest in my vlogs about it, because I'm hoping that the people that are watching it, that someone watching it is going to be the next generation. They're going to be the next Cecilia Ahern, or the next, you know, Marianne Keyes, or the next Jill Mansell. They need to know what's involved, because you do have to commit to it. So I think that's why I'm honest. And also, you know, I can't do the whole lying thing. I'm rubbish at lying. So if I said, yeah, everything's great, you're going to know it, I'm lying. But also that I hope that means that when stuff is brilliant, you'll totally get it, you'll totally understand it, because I've been honest about the other stuff. So that's why, so I can't be any other way. Last question. Finally, what are your top tips for writing the first draft of a novel? Are you an advocate of just writing like a demon until you're finished, or do you edit as you go? I used to be an editor, because I'm a copywriter by trade, so I'm used to just going over and over and over and over and over something until it's right. With a novel you can't do that. Certainly when you've got to write a first draft and you've got a month and a half, 2 months to write it, you haven't got time to go back and edit. The thing that changed it for me was that I did the National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo, depending on how you say it, back in 2007, long before anything happened with the book. And you write for 30 days and you're not allowed to edit, and it was actually the best thing for me, because it taught me to just get the ideas down. And now that I know how much a book goes through an editing process and how many chances you get to sort of make it right, it just takes the pressure off you a little bit, and you can just let the ideas flow. And actually now I would say, first draft, don't worry about it, don't worry if it's rough, just chuck all the ideas down, enjoy that process of writing it while it's still yours and before anyone else gets their 2 pence in, and just you know, get it down there and do something that you just really love. Don't worry if it doesn't make sense, don't worry if, you know, you change character names, all of that can be sorted out later on. The most important thing about your first draft is that spontaneity. Even if you really planned, I'm a big believer that you have to just go for it and let your creativity run free, because at the end of the day, that's why we do what we do. I'm not a writer because I love editing, I'm a writer because I love writing. So I think that would be it. So there you go. Thank you very much for having me, Chicklit Reviews, and I'm really excited to see what everyone thinks about It Started With a Kiss. Please tune into my vlogs, carry on asking your fantastic questions, and enjoy the book. Thanks very much. Bye.